Hey there, Dr. Ada Wells, physical therapist and certified Pilates teacher, and today we're going to do a high-intensity interval training workout using a resistance tool called the FitFighter. This is a 15-pound steel hose weight, and you can certainly find out more about it. I'll put a link below. But this is going to be what we use today, and we're going to go ahead and do this with a 5-minute warm-up, with 1-minute intervals of work, and then a 5-minute kind of lower intensity kind of rest period where we'll throw in some of our Pilates principles and go from there. All right, so let's go ahead and get started here. So if you've got your weight in hand, let's go ahead and just hold it in your arms. This is your little baby here for right now. We're going to start with just some high marches. It's up to you whether you want to wear shoes or not. I am, just because I'm on a hard floor. If you're in your living room, just make sure when we do things that involve sort of larger steps and lunges that you have pretty good traction. All right, let's go ahead and we're going to roll this down to the arms so that you're holding it in your palms. We're just holding it just part way right now. All right. And let's go ahead at this point in time. Take that weight, place it in one hand as though we're taking a little walk down the hall. Getting that heart rate up. Getting ourselves used to taking a little asymmetrical load. And go ahead, switch that weight to the other side, continuing what we're doing here with our stepping. All right. Now we'll go ahead and bring that weight back to the elbows. Let's take that stance out into a wide turnout, and we're just going to let those knees bend and just allow yourself just to move up and down nice and easily. We're staying vertical. The intention at this point here is not doing anything too crazy, just simply getting the hips moving. If you feel a little bit more comfortable having your toes more pointed straight ahead, that's fine. Just be mindful of your knee alignment. We're going to come about halfway and then just do a little side to side movement. It doesn't have to be very, very big. Once again, if you prefer those feet to be a little bit more oriented straight ahead, you can do that. All right, let's go ahead and bring those legs back in. You can take your weight, bring it back down so that you're just holding it at in front of you. We're going to slide down into a hinge. If you want to place your weight just against your thighs, and we're just going to straighten and bend your knees, just doing a little hamstring lengthening here, a little dynamic warm-up, nothing too crazy. Feel free to bend your knees a little bit each time, getting a little lower. Once again, being more mindful of your neutral spine. And then bringing everything back up to a tall position. Let's go down into just a hinge, practicing that move, coming down and then coming up to an upright position. Feel those sit bones open as you come down and you're moving into that hinge position. Feel the sit bones closed, you come back up tall. We don't want to have any flexion in the spine. We want this coming from your lower body moving in a neutral position. Let's go ahead and bring it all the way up. Now, go ahead and take your weight in one hand here. We're going to take 1 foot forward, 1 foot back into a little bit larger stance. We're going to just roll up and down on your back foot. Your front leg can be straight or a little soft. That knee can be soft, whatever you prefer. The idea here is just keep your headlights of your pelvis facing straight ahead. Think about staying tall. And then switching that leg position, switching the arms, And then once again, same thing. We're keeping those headlights of the pelvis facing straight ahead. And bringing things back down. Let's take your weight, just put it down on the floor for a moment. Let those arms have a little swing back and forth, just rolling up and down. Getting some movement here. All right, we're going to come down a minute now. Let's come down, grab your weight. We're going to go from this position of the hinge and just bring the weight up to your chest. Hinge and chest. That's all we're doing. You can go as slowly as you want. You can do this. If you're doing this with dumbbells, you can have a dumbbell in each hand. And just moving controlled, being mindful of your alignment into that squat to stand. Just got about 20 seconds here. We'll go one more. All right, let's go ahead now. Holding it in one hand, let's press up a little bit into your weight. So just getting a little bit of strengthening in the upper body while we're just marching it out. Bring it back over to the other side. Same thing. Just pressing up slightly. Up and down. And go ahead and just bring it back to your center. We're going to hold on to this FitFighter here, and this is where we get to work on our grip strength. Now, let's go ahead and just find a place where your knees are soft. We're going to just work our way up and down the FitFighter, okay? So we're just gripping and just moving. It's not that hard. Like I said, we're still really in our cooling phase here, but it just gives you something to do. All right. Now, I've got my knees bent a little bit just to keep myself vertical, but you can have your legs straight. Just watch that you're not going into hyperextension of your body. So it'll depend on how heavy your resistance is. This isn't a super heavy resistance for me. Heavy enough to where I can feel my arms working, not so heavy where I have to do something kind of crazy different. So once again, we're putting this kind of in a little bit lower intensity category. All right, let's take that arm back down. Let's go ahead and we're going to just do a little stepping forward and back. So I don't care which leg you have forward, just watch that you don't whack your leg with your weight. It's getting a little bit of an arm swing. Have to work a little bit on some balance here. Keep that same leg forward, switch your weight into the other hand. If you're holding a FitFighter, you can always change where your grip is on the FitFighter to get a little different amount of work through your hands, through your forearms. Okay, we'll keep it in this hands, switch legs. Continue with that stepping. And then we'll go ahead and switch the arms, but just keep the same leg in front. So we've had the opportunity to kind of work on all the variations there. All right. So we're going to bring it back to center here. Let's go ahead and take that FitFighter. We're going to bring it back to your chest position. So we were there earlier. Let's just do an overhead press with that. So you want to take your weight as wide as you can and just reaching up and down. So once again, this is a 15-pound for me, so I can do this relatively easily without adding in a lot of excessive movement. But I'm going to do this a little slow motion, so we're going to point out the movements we're going to be doing. All right, we're going to bring it back down. Now we're going to come back to that little original partial squat, coming down, coming up, bringing the weight to your chest, and bringing the arms overhead. So that's going to be the movement. Going down, sit bones closed as we bring the arms back into that chest position and overhead. Now, we can add an element of the calves. So you can go up. When you go up onto the balls of your feet and back down. You can also add an element of a hop at the end if that's in your wheelhouse. Okay, so only add the hop if that's something that you have done jumping in a while, but I wouldn't rush to it. Okay, so that's going to be the movement. We're going slow-mo right now, and in about 5 seconds, we're going to take it a little bit faster. So if this is enough work for you, you stay slow, but otherwise, starting now, we're going to take it fast. As fast as your form can allow you. Really important that you're watching your mechanics here. Like I said, your lower body alignment. Watching that those shoulders are not shrugging up, but you have the opportunity to both work with the momentum and control the momentum. We've got about 15 seconds left. Three, 2, and 1. Bring it back. All right, we've got it in our hands here. Let's just take a moment just to find our little partial squat. We're going to do a little weight shifting side to side. This is just a nice, easy movement here. The important thing is that your spine is staying neutral. At this point in time, my palms are facing the body. I'm going to play a little bit by changing our arm position. So bring it back to center. Go ahead and change it so that you have one palm up, one palm down. And we're going to go back and forth from here. Those of you that are golfers in the room might appreciate this. Okay, let's go ahead and bring it back to center. Switch your grip again. So the other hand, you get an opportunity to kind of switch which hand is up and down. We're still kind of in that little partial squat, little hinge, kind of our golf position here. More of a weight shifting, side to side. And then let's pause to have both hands facing straight ahead. And go ahead and just do that same little side to side movement. So working in this little slight hinge requires some endurance of your back extensors, just to keep you up. So once again, if it's a little tough for you to do this, the more upright you stand, easier. Okay? The more in that little hinge, you're going to have to work the backside of your body a little more. All right, let's go ahead and bring it back to a steady position. We're going to work a little bit on some balance here. So let's put that weight in one hand, coming down into your little partial squat, taking one leg back. I don't care which leg, okay? From this position, we're going to go ahead and just go from this little partial squat position back and just tap to kind of meet the other leg. so that your front leg is the one that's taking all the weight. Okay, come all the way up, come back down into that little partial squat. Other leg is going to go back and forth. So just focus right now on keeping your body so that it's staying in line. We're working on control here and coming all the way up. Switch the weight into the other hand. Come back down into that little partial squat. Once again, I don't care which leg you kind of scooter it with, but just go ahead and take one leg, moving back and forth, feeling that the weight is primarily on the front leg. And then we'll go ahead and we'll switch it, just maintaining everything. We're just changing the leg that's doing the work. We're changing which leg has to balance, still keeping the body upright. They're not upright, but in a little partial squat here. Okay? Let's come all the way up. Let's switch that weight back to the original side. Now let's make this a little bit more dynamic here. We're just going to come into that little partial squat, send a leg back. From here, I want you to come up and just bring your weight to the front, and then switch the weight in the hand and switch the leg. Okay, so it's just a little switch. Each time you come up, which leg goes behind, capture the weight, and coming back up. Okay, so just get really good at finding your form here so that you can feel that you're moving from that front leg, driving the work. Fine, when I look at you, my own balance needs to work. Okay? So you got the idea there. So we're going to be doing some things. You can always default, and actually let's do one more thing. So keep the weight in your hand forward, come back up again, and let's now switch. So you can kind of switch which hand is doing the work if you have it in the same side, opposite side. All right? So like I said, we're going to take this a bit quicker, but this is always an option. All right, let's take it back up. March it out for a moment. All right, we're going to start our minute now. Come down into your squat, take a leg back. Let's go ahead and go up and down. Switch it. And see how far back you can either tap that leg or see how much you can hinge forward. Once again, making sure you're mindful of your knee. So at this point in time, the way I have it, pay attention to what you have chosen. I have it set to where the weight is basically swinging back when I'm bending my front leg. I want to give a chance for the other side. So now, just switch it. Oops. There we go. Now I'm switching it so that the opposite leg is the lunging leg. It's a little harder. Keep the balance. Do what you can. Let's do a couple more. Woo! And back up. All right. Happens to the best of us. Let's go ahead and march it out. And we're going to go back to doing some side stepping. So I'm going to come over to one side. Let's go ahead and hold on to your weight here. And we're going to go ahead and take a step to one side and just lower your weight. Now, if you have more of a dumbbell, you can lower it in front of you. Bring it back up, lower, and up. So we're just starting off from one leg. Once again, you'll just have to play a little bit depending on if you just have a regular weight, what you're doing. Can't recommend these FitFighters enough. I think they're really versatile. Okay, let's go ahead, step over on the other side. Same thing, let's go ahead and just take a moment just to kind of switch it up of which arm has the weight, taking a step, giving the other hand a chance. kind of noticed I was doing I was getting ahead of myself there, switching off kind of midway, which we're going to be doing. All right, and come all the way back up. All right, we're going to play a little self-toss here. So if you got your resistance, just do a little toss back and forth. Make sure you can hold it. Now, obviously, you wouldn't be doing this with a regular dumbbell. Okay, I would not recommend this with a regular dumbbell. This is something that I would just do with the FitFighter or something that's easy to catch. All right, we're going to go ahead and just take it side to side. And then just come back, march it out. Let me get my timer going there. Marching that out. Pause, bring it back over, march it out on the other side. All right, bring it back. Find your wide position here. You're going to hold on to your weight in front of you. Now, you might choose just to hold it down with your arms straight, but I got my elbows bent. Come down into a little partial squat again. We're going to go back into that little side-to-side move with just a small rotation. Now, with this rotation, I'm okay if you let the back leg have a little rotation with it, okay? So I'm not going to keep that back leg planted. I'm going to let it move. And just kind of play with that. I'm not going into a lot of loaded twisting. It's not necessarily great if you've got low bone density, especially if I'm not there with you. Okay, so just this little back and forth. All right, bring it back. Just let those arms rest for a moment. Now, this time we're going to take the weight, bring it back to your chest. Come back, and then we're just going to do that same little movement. Okay, bring it back to center. If you want to take the arms up overhead, coming down, and just taking that same little movement. Now, you might have to kind of adjust how you're standing. Once again, depending on if this weight is too much for you, you might need to lower it. You might need to not necessarily go as big. Maybe you're just taking a small step back and forth. Just getting you some overhead with some dynamic rotation and through the body, through a different plane. And bring it all the way back in. Come back. Have a march. All right. We're going to bring that weight back so that its palms are towards you. We're going to now take ourselves down into this little partial squat, coming back up to our original movement. Do 3 of those. I'm going to face you, and then stay down. Go about 3 times back and forth. Bring it back to center, back up. Okay, 3 times. Back and forth. And then back overhead. Form always wins over speed. Okay, so about 3, 3, and 3. If you lose count, that's okay. You do what you do. I can't keep my count half the time. Start going by feel. And then let's end with one more just set of overheads. And then bring it all the way back. Let's just go ahead, once again with the FitFighter, just going to put it back over one shoulder and do your marches. This is too much resistance, you hold it down at your side. You got to put it down for a bit, you put it down. Let's go to the other side. Same thing. All right, now we are going to bring some stuff down to the mat here. So let's go ahead, bringing everything down. Come on down to the mat. And we're going to take a moment. You can have your hands a little forward of your shoulder. You can put your FitFighter behind there. We're going to do just a little hinge back so you can get some length through the upper body. And then a little hinge forward, or just a little plank forward. Just moving back and forth here. Feeling yourself staying wide through the shoulder blades. You've got to push through the upper body. And then take a moment just to shift your body weight from side to side. If you need to put a little bit of padding underneath your knees, like me, I've got super bony knees, so don't be shy if you've got to do a little of that, kind of as we're just getting some feedback into the shoulder blades. Let's go ahead and just allow your upper body to have a little circular movement. And circular movement the other direction. Okay, bring it all the way up. If you've got issues with your wrists, you might have to kind of grade this a little bit. Okay, we're going to come on back down. So once again, hands a little forward of the shoulders. Take one foot back behind you. Let's do a little rocking forward and back here. We're going to kind of get ourselves ready for some full planks. We can do this in lots of different ways though. Bring that knee back in. Take the other leg and just a little rocking back and forth. Once again, if wrists are an issue for you, if you do this with your hands up, say on an ottoman, reformer box, sofa, where you have yourself on your forearms, you can still get some feedback through the shoulders without getting the wrist so much. Bring it all the way back in. All right, so now let's go ahead and take one leg back. From this position, we're going to just rotate back and forth through the hips. So you have a little glass of water on your back. You're going to spill that water each side and just try to keep that back leg relatively horizontal. Okay, bring it back. Take the other leg, send it back, find your horizontal position, and then just rocking around that leg. Be mindful that your head and your rib cage stay in line with your spine. It's really tempting to let that head drop or to let the rib cage drop. Okay, bring everything back up. If you want, go ahead and take a hold of your weight, come up. You can bring it into your elbows here. Now, your feet can be either, you can have your toes sort of propped up or you can have your feet flat, whatever you prefer. We're going to do a little thigh stretch here. We're just going to let your body go back and forth. So it's just a little eccentric work through the quads. Shouldn't be any knee pain. If there is, don't go back as far or try having your legs just slightly wider. All right, keeping the weight there. Let's do a little hinge to stand here. It should be pretty easy because we've already been doing lots of squats to stand. Okay? We'll go one more. Okay, let's go ahead and bring that weight down. We're going to stay on your hands and knees here and just slide your weight back and forth. That's going to be our basic move. If you want to pick it up, you can pick it up. All right, now, second thing you can do is just let your knees be hovered. Okay, and if you can, that's going to be where we go. So let's go ahead. We're going to start our minute now. If you have your knees hovered and you can keep them hovered, let's do that. Otherwise, keep your knees down, shifting back and forth. Some of you may want to go ahead and take it into a plank position for something different. There's always options to just try to stay there. Lift up a leg, one leg at a time. If you can lift up a leg and lift, that's great. If you can lift up a leg and slide, even better. That's not me this morning. All right, bring it back in. Let's go ahead, let's place that weight aside. Come on back down. Find your length. Take your body back forward. Walk your hands outside of your mat and just go ahead and hinge back from this position. So we get a little side bend here. Take a moment just to breathe. Breathe deeply, feel some expansion through the rib cage. Bring it back. Walk your hands over to the other side of your mat, just outside the mat to give you a little bit extra side bend if you want that. The nice thing is side bending from here, it's not loaded, so we can be a little more, we can side bend a touch more here. Just make sure you're keeping your spine relatively neutral here. And bring it back. Have a seat on your mat. Slide my weight out of the way. Just have all your goodies out of the way there. You're going to take your legs out wide. Just let both of your knees just kind of sway side to side. You're going to keep your arms behind you. You know, you might walk a little bit, so feel free to kind of scoot your arms a little forward as you're doing this. We're going to add an element of trunk rotation in a moment. Kind of bring it all together. Okay, bring it back. Scoot yourself to the back side of your mat once again. This time, when both knees roll to the same side, you're going to spiral to that same side along the horizon, bringing it back, the horizon or up. So I'm going to keep it horizon or up for those that have low bone density, just to make sure we're not sneaking into flexion, rotation. Rotation in itself is fine. We're not forcing anything here. We're just gliding through it. Life is a rotational sport. So the more you can maintain some mobility here, this is going to keep you from kind of being at your end range sooner than you need to be, because the sooner you're at your end range through life, that becomes more compressive to your back. All right? And then let's go ahead and bring it back up to an upright position. And from here, let's go ahead and we'll get a little stretch here. So taking 1 foot forward and 1 foot back, let's focus on that back leg. Headlights of the pelvis are straight ahead. Now we did a little bit of this in the beginning, but I'm going to be a little more specific. We're going to roll up onto that back heel, roll down, lift the back toes. And again, bringing that up and back down, lifting the toes. Now I'm going to invite you guys to bring those arms overhead. If you want to hold on to a towel to pull, just bringing them up overhead keeps your body tall, works on a little bit of that upper thoracic extension. So we're just going to do that as we're rolling forward, rolling back. And the next time you roll to shift that weight to your front leg, go ahead and rotate towards your front leg side and bring it back. Let's switch sides. 1 foot forward, 1 foot back. Headlights of your pelvis forward, rolling up and down. So the nice thing about doing this is we get a little mobility in through the ball of your foot, through your big toe. It's really important for gait. Walking efficiently. When you're walking efficiently, you're utilizing kind of the muscles as they were in your skeleton, as they were designed. When you lose that mobility, you start throwing in all sorts of compensations. Let's go ahead and shift that body weight forward, rotate to the front leg side, bring it back, and then coming back. Let's let those arms have a little sway back and forth. We're going to just go squat to stand. Should feel easy. You don't have any load except for your body weight. And then just go ahead and pause and just do some little heel rocks here, just up and down, keeping your body upright. If you have it in you, if it's okay for you, you can actually leave the floor and just add a little hop with that. Otherwise, just keep your heels down and just rock it. All right, and we'll march that out. All right, you guys, we're going to go ahead and end with a breath. Both arms up overhead. Big inhale and exhale. Arms at your sides. All right, you guys, hope you enjoyed that. And if you want more, make sure that you are checking out our BeWellStayWell.net, where we have live classes daily, and we have an on-demand library of hundreds of workouts spanning the range of mat Pilates to Pilates on equipment to movement workouts where we have our bells, bones, and balance classes to a jumping practice to all sorts of things in between. So certainly check it out. It was definitely geared for bodies that have been places. If you've been around for a while, if your body has been around for a while, if it feels like it's been around for a while, great place to start. All right, you guys, we'll see you later.